What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about 20 altcoins or so today. I'm going to count actually right now. We're going to get into it. I'm just going to go over the list. So here it is right now. Sushi, Shiba, XVG, SHX, Jones, Turbo, Jasmy, ICP, Polyswarm, IONQ, 0x0, Algo, AERO, GTC, COQ, Wojak, PLI, and Pepe Coin. That's the list. I tried to count. I lost count in my head, but I think it is like literally 20. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 17, 18. I lost count at 10. It's hard to talk, go through the list, and keep count all at the same time. But anyways, you could probably even hear it if you play it back. You can hear when I start talking faster because I'm like, just screw it. I'm going to stop counting. It's too complicated. Or maybe it's not and I'm just too simple. Either way, Shiba. We're talking about Shiba for you, my good friend Mischiefism. Sorry for butchering your name there. Sushi, not Shiba. We're talking about Sushi. And then Shiba as well. Sushi, on the weekly, providing a lower low in its RSI and a slightly lower low, yes, in its price. That is good for lower prices, not good for holding this low and then going up. However, this is an adequate low. I think it's totally fine. If we draw a line right here at that low, previous areas of resistance, areas of support, you know, it's not the worst place to see support come in. That really could be your low, is what I'm trying to say. Let's look at the daily. I think I did, but I just want to check real quick. I need to get some water, you guys. I might do that later in the video, or I might try to hold out, but we'll see. The daily RSI actually looks really good. I actually really do like this RSI a lot, and I do like the price action. So that gives me a little bit more confidence that this is the real deal for a low. You might be moving down rather immediately. You could form, you know, some kind of a double bottom, perhaps a general just like higher low, whatever. Perhaps it's higher low than either of those lows are, or maybe it goes just below this low or just around it, whatever. But lower nonetheless is kind of what I would think is going to happen over the coming days, maybe this week. 4 hour looks like it wants to come down a little bit, sure. Resilient though, definitely a bullish looking 4 hour, man. Now, not then, but now. I mean, yeah, even then, kind of. Let's look at your 1 hour. I don't know. I'm gonna stick with it, man. You're at $1.03 now. I think 94 cents is where you're going to go, if not 98.5 cents, somewhere around there. Let me get this low here. Yeah, I'd say between 92 cents, 96 cents. That's what I'm thinking. You're at $1.03 now, so if I'm wrong on that, okay, cool. You're still. I don't think you're going below 78 cents down here. But anyways. 92, 90, 97, 92 and 97. That's where I think you're going. And then inevitably up, probably. Yes, I said inevitably. I do believe Shiba or Sushi will inevitably go up. You've got this kind of weird, I wouldn't call it an inverse head and shoulders pattern, but you know, it kind of looks like it almost, right? Like here's your shoulder line, your neckline, here's your head. It's really weird. I wouldn't call it that at all. But it does look bullish. Looks like a bullish phase of accumulation nonetheless. And you were trying to break through. You just couldn't do it. So I'm assuming on this next attempt up you will. But you know, when do you do that? I don't know. It could be months from now. It could be multiple months from now, even like 3 months or more before you break out to new highs. Not new all-time highs, but just new relative highs. But we'll see. Time will tell. Yeah, at any rate, I think you're grinding your way up to this probably this top area here around $1.50 over the next month and a half, probably. Down first and then up, and that's about it. So that's Sushi. Let's talk about Shiba. Shiba on Coinbase, nice structure, really nice structure actually. Clear breakout move of your accumulation phase, man. This is the kind of move I was looking for on some of my coins that They broke out of their accumulation phase, but they just didn't keep going, did they? That's beautiful. That's great. That's what you want to see. Volume and everything looks great. Weekly RSI looks good as well. You did break your uptrend. Maybe you haven't broken your uptrend. Yeah, I mean, you're kind of doing it right now. I would say you are. I don't know. Looking at the daily, yeah, daily looks bearish. So a little bit of a flat base here with descending highs. No volume coming in. I would expect the volume does come in once you break out. This is a bearish kind of look. You absolutely could break out to the upside, but I do think you're going to go lower with the rest of the markets. And I would think Shiba probably follows suit with Dogecoin. So because I am kind of bearish on the midterm for Dogecoin, I'd be bearish on Shiba as well. I think until later this year, like literally Q3, if not genuinely, it could be Q4. Shiba will not break this high at 4045. I don't believe that you'll break that low. I don't even know. I'm not even quite confident that you'll go below this line here. But you could genuinely move all the way back to 4013. You could. 4011 even. You know, you could do that as well. Right now, let's look for 40165 to hold support. 40143, that area. But nonetheless, I think you're grinding your way down over the months to come. And moving back up, you're probably going to grind your way up as well, or like slowly move up. Shiba's kind of like Dogecoin in the way it likes to move, right? It likes to, when it really wants to move up, it does it pretty decisively, right? And for example, here was your kind of resistance point. Here was your resistance point right there, whatever. You know, you were kind of near it here, but you weren't right at it whenever you just tore up. You just decided to tear up, right? And arguably, debatably, your resistance point could have been back here or even like right there. You had a little support area, resistance, whatever. At any rate, you know, you were further away from these lines and you just tore up. So what I'm trying to say is after Shiba finds its low, wherever it finds its low, it doesn't have to just do this to get all the way back up there. It can work its way up, and you also don't need to be in this area for Shiba to rip up. You just have to, I don't know, you don't have to be right at it, if that makes sense. I don't know. Normally, let me give you some context. I would expect that if you had a point of resistance, let's call this your point of resistance, before breaking out of it, you would probably work your way up, consolidate around it, and then break out, something like that. You might break out, back test it for support, and then break out. What I'm saying for Shiba is that it doesn't need any of that. It can just break through the sky, which is not something that's normal, but basing it off of what you see with Dogecoin and what you've seen Shiba do, that's kind of what I would expect. So it's neither here nor there. It's a little bit, you know, down the line, but whenever it does come time for like a last call for Shiba, I would not expect the price to be anywhere near here. It'll probably be somewhere in the current range right now, just later in the year, and then out of nowhere, just boom, you know. But again, that's not here. That's later down the road. For the time being, down you go. That's Shiba. Spending way too much time. Let's try to move through these a little bit faster, you guys. XVG, some Verge, at the request of the Determined, or the Determined, I don't know. I think it's the Determined. Let's see here on the monthly. High to low, 1272 hit, tipped it, 382 held, Verge. One of those, man. It looked like it was breaking out of its accumulation phase, and then it's like, haha, just kidding. It's looking healthy though. I would say it is looking healthy. Weekly RSI looks weird, but great still. Daily RSI looks resilient. I'm pretty confident that's your low, Verge. You look like you want to go a little bit lower right now, but I think that's your low. Yeah, you could go all the way back down to half a cent. You're at 0.00565 now. You could go to 0.0051, 0.005 itself, you know, but I don't think you could go lower than that low. A little bit down. Let's see. Yeah, okay. You might go, yeah. 005272, 00509, that range, and then up. That's Verge. SHX. Again, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I'm not sorry. I'm just going to kind of go through these a little bit faster because I spent way too much time on those first two. If I keep doing that, you guys, this video will go on for hours. It will. It definitely will. My sleep schedule has a problem with that. Let's see, high to low. 618 tipped it twice, yeah. Hidden bearish divergence on the daily. Weekly looking a bit bearish as well. I think you go lower. Do you go lower than this low is the question. Of that, I'm not convinced entirely, but I could see it. Daily RSI is nice, but like where the volume isn't really that. I mean, it's all right. It's all right. And the RSI is fine. I don't know. Low to high. I want to see how you do with 0.00718 and 0.0068. 0.00718, 0.0068. I want to see how you do with those two, with that range there. Essentially, if you can bounce off of this green line whenever you come into contact with it, great. And if not, well, then you're likely going to take this low out. We'll see you at, less than half a cent, even close to a third of a cent, something like that, in correspondence with the highs and lows of this consolidation phase right here. Of which, maybe not that high, but maybe this high right there, kind of lining up with that 1272. I don't know. Down from here, but how much lower is the question. As of right now, I have hopes and faith that you can hold this area. Will you is the question, because if you don't, lower you go. If you do, cool, work your way up. It's not going to be just because you certify that this is your low doesn't mean you're going for the skies. Though I will say, if you do confirm this area as your low, you are pretty bullishly postured to see new all-time highs over the coming months, before most cryptos would. So it just depends. It really depends what you do this week, what you do next week. With this next part of the drop, are you going lower, or are you holding a higher low? That's the question that remains. At this point in time, lower, yes, I think you're going, but I have some faith that you'll kind of hold the line and keep moving up. SHX. Jones for Celos, or is it Jones? I don't know. Jonas. Outlooks Jonas. 654K. That's the one we want, I think. Yeah. Let's see here. All right. So it's alive and well, doing all right. Yesterday we got a pump, 103%. Beautiful. Celos, I hope you got into it, my man. I hope you did good. And if not, that's okay. Is it the right time to get in now? I mean, I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe not. The right time was probably back there, but I mean, you're at higher prices now. Maybe not the right time to get in. The right time to get out is really what I would say. The right time to get in was ways a ways ago. You look productive, bro. You look really productive, actually. Man, this makes me want to say you're reaching for 1.4. You're at 0.0079 now. You might reach for 1.4 cents to 2.66 cents. It's productive, man. It looks very productive, actually. It's too new of a chart. Anything can happen. You're moving higher with less volume. That's not a good thing. The fibs are productive, but who cares? It's so new. Anything can happen. I like it, though, man. I like it. I think you're moving up to 1.4 cents to 2.66 cents. Just don't mess with it too much. You never know. I mean, who knows? It could go higher, and maybe it hits this target area. Maybe it doesn't even go up here. Maybe it barely falls shy of this area, and then it dumps. It's hard to say. But for what it's worth, yes, probably down today over the next day or so. and then up. Right? Maybe you make a move down to 0.0069. Maybe it's all the way down to 0.0057, somewhere in that area. And then up you go to 1.4 cents or higher. That's my best guess. Yeah. Turbo's another one for Hey Ghosty. Should we do the $50 volume? This is the one. MetaWin Casino. Man, anytime I see these, not to dog on them, but anytime I see anything that's like advertised on Deck Screener, I'm like, it's got to be a scam, right? It's got to be a scam. You guys see Whiff, right? Oh wait, that's not this one's new. There's no way. Or maybe it's a different one. I don't know. There's this one called No Hat. I was just looking at it. It's just kind of funny. All these dog memes, man. No hat, like dog with hat became a big meme. Now there's dog with no hat. I don't know. It's just kind of funny. This one might do all right, but I don't know, man. I'm not trying to shill a project. I don't know anything about it. I don't have any money in that. Please don't just blindly put money into things. I genuinely just thought that it was funny. That dog with hat is a thing, and then dog with no hat is like it would just be funny to see that do well. And maybe it's not funny. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't know. I think it'd be funny. Anyways. Daily RSI overbought. It's where you do your best work, generally speaking. A lot of people make the misconception that being overbought means it's time to sell and get the hell out. But, I mean, here's where you were overbought right here. That wasn't near the high of this point, and then even further on, If you sell as soon as you got overbought, I mean, you would have been not correct, right? Like, really, this was just like the kind of key point of something greater that happened. Same thing here, right? If you sold even on the first day that you got overbought, and you were very overbought all the way up here at 86, you missed from 307 all the way up to 20145. You missed a solid bit of gains there, right? And that was on a lower high in the RSI, so just be aware of that. Same thing here. You even had a double top, lower high in the RSI. So here we've got our first high, potentially, on the overbought area here. A bounce right off the overbought zone, which is what it looks like you're doing, is really bullish. Breaking above your 618 on the first attempt, which this is the first attempt because from high to low, this is your first interaction with this area. Yes, you interacted with it back here, but that was before the anchor point, okay? So interacting with it afterwards, your first attempt after the established range is established. Breaking through the 618 is very bullish. 4 hour. Looks like you didn't just break through it, but you found support on it and continued to move higher. I love that. Yeah, you're probably moving up, Turbo. Turbo's going to $0.0019 to $0.0027. Yeah, I think so. I think that's happening right now. Volume and all, the move and all. I mean, it's just what that would lead me to believe. Volume's dying off, I guess. Yeah. I mean, maybe you do pull back first. Maybe you pull back to 3095, your 618 area. Maybe you pull back there. Maybe you pull back to 201, somewhere in this area, just a little bit lower, and then up. But I think you're working your way up higher. This is on a daily basis, so I would expect over the weeks, over the months, you're going to see 0.0019 or 0.0027 come up on the charts, and I would honestly say weeks. It looks like this thing likes to move fast, so probably in the coming weeks. That's Turbo. If I'm wrong, then you've got a double top. And if I'm wrong and assuming that you're going higher, then, dude, you're going a lot lower. There will be signs, but I don't think you get this overbought. I mean, with that, I don't know, man. I've got a good feeling you're going to go higher. Yes, there's like what looks to be bearish divergence on the 4-hour RSI, but really this 4 hour is crazy bullish right now. Super bullish. Got a high here, higher high, high here, lower high, and look, you've already fulfilled that divergence, so who cares anyways? Yeah, you could go down a little bit from here. You could go below this low even. But who knows? Maybe you hold the low. I don't know. At any rate, I think you've got higher to go. So whatever you do this week or over the coming days, I would expect it to be a buying opportunity for the higher prices that are to come over the weeks. Anyways, Turbo. Just a guess there. I could be wrong. Been wrong before. I'll be wrong again. That's how it is. Jasmy for bone of his own. He's got a bone of his own, man. Jasmy coin in what they would call a bullish pennant, right? A bull flag or whatever. It's a pennant. It can break down. It can break up. It is possible. With the breakout, the measure move of a breakout of a pennant, I believe, is just the height of the pattern itself, roughly, right? At the point of breakout. So that would just essentially take you down to about 1 cent. You're at 1.7 cents now. And it does look like you're breaking out to the downside. It's not the prettiest pattern, is it? There's arguments to be made that maybe this line should be down here, right? You haven't broken out of it yet. Maybe this line's up here. Whatever. I think Jasmy, it's a newer coin. It has less liquidity, right? A lower market cap that you can see it have kind of an ugly shape like this. To me, this looks better fit, even though, yes, it is wicking out. I don't know, man. I think you've broken out. I think you're going down. Daily RSI looks like not good. Neutral, but not good. Time will tell. Call it a funny feeling, but I think you do move lower. Hey, look at that. That measure move would take you right down to your weekly 123 moving average. Beautiful to see. Relative low to high. Also, right at your 382. Yeah, it makes sense, man. 1 cent you go. 1 cent awaits you, Jasmy, and that will happen probably very soon. It will. I would expect it. It could happen this week. Jasmy coin. A lot of these drops that I'm calling for you guys, they're either happening this week or next week. Like, they're happening this month, and I really would expect this week or next week. But for this one, I think this week. We got a whole week ahead of us, so I feel pretty safe in assuming that. But time analysis is not my strong suit. I can say pretty confidently this week I think we go down there, and then 2 weeks later we go down there, But or we don't go down there at all. Again, I've been wrong before. I'll be wrong again. But that's my thoughts on Jasmy. I hope that helps. Bone of his own. ICP for Jonas the brother. Not the Jonas Brothers, Jonas the brother. ICP, it's just going to move sideways, man. It's not going anywhere. Don't even worry about it. 2 years from now, it'll be at the same price. No, I don't know, man. What's there to say? Weekly RSI is cooling off. It's cooled off a lot while your prices are holding up well, which is a bullish thing in itself. At the same time, you could drop all the way back down to $8.34. You're at $11.32 now. You could drop all the way to $8.34 and still be fine. You really could. And if anything, that'd just be a great opportunity to send you higher. Not just because it's at your 382, but because it would also line up with this previous area of resistance right here. Finding support on your breakout point of resistance. That's beautiful. That's structurally, it's a very strong maneuver to uphold. Daily RSI looking a bit weak. You're just getting oversold. Let's see what you do. You do have a relatively flat base here. Not really a bearish top. You're kind of in a horizontal channel. You're going to do one of two things, right? You're either going to go down to around this area and then bounce, or we're going down to the 382, and that would probably, again, because you're so close and because of how your daily RSI looks, that would probably happen this week. So we'll know within this week if ICP is going below $9 again, or if we're holding this area. And the real test of that, I would say, is if we close below like $10.75. If we close below $10.75 on a day, any given day, not just move below it, but close below it, I would assume we're moving down to 840, 830, somewhere in there. That's ICP. Polyswarm, what is it? NCT? Is that Polyswarm? Yeah. For Jonas the bro, nice little day yesterday, wasn't it? With nice little volume. Huh. Let's see. Interesting. I'm perplexed. You've got good things going for you. I like where you found your lows. I like the reaction you've had. You're down 6% today after being up 15.7% yesterday. So what? It's okay. You can recover. You did this in 5 hours time. You can reverse that in the next 19 hours for sure. It's the beginning of a new week. So if you are going to be green, look at this green week, right? 11.7% to the upside, but you started off to the downside. That's what that wick's for, right? All these big green weeks, they had a little bit of downside at first, right? So except for this one, that one just straight up from the open of the week. There's good things going for it. I like it. I think it wants to go up. I think so, yeah. This volume is not enough to convince me alone. It's enough to have me a little bit interested, but I think if you go any lower from here, it's not going to be by much. You're at 2.333 cents repeating, right? I would expect you hold 2.2 cents. I think you will, and you're working your way up. And that's pretty crucial for where you're at right now, right? Because you're essentially, what I'm saying is you're about to break this downtrend. And technically that won't be confirmed until you get above this high, right? Or you like form some kind of low and then you get above that. I mean, even then you've got these highs here. I think technically you're not confirmed breaking this downtrend until you break above 3.25 cents, but you'll definitely break this trend line maybe today. This week though, I think this week you will, but time will tell. NCT. I'm making too many time-based calls. I need to cut it out with that because I'm setting myself up for failure with doing time calls, man. IONQ. Winners win. You do this all the time. You will request a stock on a crypto video, right? And I'm not this video because he did the comment, he did the request, as you all do requests, either on the Discord or on the YouTube comments. And it was on a crypto video, and he just said IONQ, please. Maybe I've talked about this one before. I forget, dude. I talk about so many, so I should know if I've talked about it before. That might be your thought. If I haven't talked about it before, here's my thought. Even if I have talked about it before, here's my thought. I talk about all kinds of stuff, you guys. If you could please, on your requests, type in IONQ USD. Or if it's not a crypto, just say stock afterwards. If you say USD, it's automatically, I'm assuming it's either Forex or it's a crypto, and probably a crypto, right? Based off of the environment that we surround ourselves in this channel here, right? It doesn't bother me. Winners win. It's not a big deal. I just will take the time out to say this every single time. If you guys can, and really it's probably good. As the channel grows, maybe it's your first time hearing this, but just as a request to the requesters, if you guys could specify whether it's a crypto or a stock that you're talking about, that helps me. It just keeps the flow of things going. Winners win. If you're watching this, we are not talking about IONQ in this video. I will add it into the stock video for later, where I will make the same point, okay? I know I've done this before, and if this does keep happening and I don't see improvement, I mean, with new people it's going to happen and they won't know. But I feel like if I'm just speaking, falling on deaf ears here, then it might come to a point where, if someone requests it but they don't specify it, and I can't find it, and I'm expecting a crypto, I won't do this little extra part where I go to USD. I'm like, it's not there. Boom. Sorry. I won't just put two and two together there. Because if you're not going to put two and two together for me, you know what I mean? Like, just help me out, help me help you. But I don't know. Anyways, let's get on this here. IONQ. Again, it's really not a big deal. 0x0. 0x0. USD. Coin X. Maybe on crypto. Yeah, that's the one we want. Okay. Well, it likes to go up, right? I swear I gave this one a winner in one of my recent altcoin videos. Shame on me because it's just gone down. Let's see, high to low. Well, that's why. I thought you were making a stand right there, probably. Well, that's not necessarily a good look, is it? So you're either going to hold this area and then move up, or you're moving down to your 236 and then moving up. I would expect you hold this area. I don't remember when my last video was on this, but I swear I gave whoever requested it the win. Today it's Joe Mansis. It might have been Joe. Joe, it might have been you last time too. I forget, but I don't remember when I last did it. It was either this day here or maybe it was this day. I don't know. It's irrelevant. Oh, man. This is not easy for me to say right now, man. I don't know. You absolutely could go a little bit lower, just a little bit. You're at 32.2 cents. Maybe go to 31 cents. Maybe go all the way down to 28.4 cents. Maybe lower. Who knows? But I genuinely think if you don't hold the line, the literal yellow line, if you don't hold this line, I think you'll hold this green line. I think you'll hold 31 cents. You're very near your low. If you're not at it, you're very near it. And I think you're going to work your way up soon. I think you're at the right areas to bounce and everything, man. Genuinely. So looking for a move up next, right? You moved up. You're consolidating. When this consolidation breaks, I would expect it goes to the upside. Likely a move up to 48.5 cents, 41.3 cents, and then beyond that, even to 66.8 cents to 88.9 cents. Up in this zone, and that could happen sometime next month, man. So 0x0 looking pretty bullish actually. I'll go for Konstantin Zelev. We're talking about this one for you, Konstantin. Algorand. Algo. I don't think it goes lower than that low. Oh, it could. It could, though. Oh, man, hold on. Oh, you're not looking good, bro. I could be wrong. Yeah, you're not looking good. I think you're moving back to 12.7 cents, maybe all the way down to 10 cents. Yeah. Maybe hold on, that might not even be the right range to take. This might be. Yeah, I think so, man. Yeah, I'm pretty convinced right now. This is what did it for me. It was actually this range from low to high here. Broke below your 618 on the first attempt. Got back above it for a day, but after a serious rejection, right? That's all that was. That day of what looks to be bullishness was a serious rejection. And then you went swiftly below your 618 just to confirm it as resistance again. You've already interacted with this 886 area twice, and you haven't gotten the follow-through that you need to the upside. Your daily RSI looks terrible. Your weekly RSI rejected the 50, an area that you found support on before. I think you're going lower. And I think where you're going to go is at least 12 cents to 9 cents. That's the zone. Looking at it for what it's worth, I would expect 12 cents to hold. But if not, I mean, you better hope 9 cents holds, because then you've got worse problems ahead of you. If not, I think 12 cents will hold. But I think you're moving down more, actually, for Algorand. That's that for the time being. Arrow. And buckle up, guys. This part right here, I've been saying it a lot, but this part of the bull cycle, we are in the bull cycle, at least I think we are. This part is the most boring part, but we are in this boring part of the cycle, the post-halving kind of lull. We're at the part where we're about to stop moving lower. So things are about to get a little bit exciting to the downside. So don't get wrecked. Don't get fearful. Don't make any bad decisions or trades or sell something that dropped 20% in a day just to watch it pump 50% up the next day. Don't make any irrational decisions. Not a financial advisor, not financial advice. Do your own thing. But hopefully you've all put money into the cryptos you're holding because you see them doing well over the cycle. Who cares what they do this month then, right? If you think they're going to do well this cycle, just remember that, okay? They probably will. Most of them will. It's at the point, you guys, where you could literally put your cryptos up on the wall, turn the lights off, close your eyes, whatever, throw a dart at the board, whatever you hit, you're probably going to make money with, right? It's not that hard. As long as you hold, as long as you don't try to play the game, as long as you're not panic selling when we get a dump. And the reason I'm emphasizing this is because you guys, we're at the point of the month of May. We're at the point in the cycle after the halving where, to me, it does make sense where we're about to see a kind of last little flush out, right? And it might, I would hope that it'll be more abrupt than people would expect, because if it is, that means it's done, we're over, you know. If not, if it's longer and drawn out, that's actually worse. Like if it takes a longer time to hit these lows and we're just slowly, methodically working our way down there, which we kind of have been, it's worse, I think. It's better to just rip the Band-Aid off, but I don't know. Who cares? Whatever my opinion is, you know, the markets will do what they want to do. Python, or not Python, I don't know why. I saw Pith right there. Arrow for astronaut sailor. Looking at it here, yes, it's moved up quite a lot. It's moving down quite a lot now. Looks like it wants to go lower. You bounced here off of previous areas of resistance just to resist here at previous areas of bounce, and down you go. You're in the oversold zone again. Yes, you have bullish divergence. Yes, you do. Yes, you do, don't you? Let's see, you've had bullish divergence since technically this day. So 1, 2, 3 days now in a row you've had bullish divergence. Whereas this pop, it's going to happen soon, right? It's gonna happen soon until you just keep doing this, and until this bullish divergence goes away and you actually are still above the 20 in your oversold zone, but a lower low nonetheless. And once you get that lower low, that's probably where you're going to bounce. Everyone's looking for it to bounce off of bullish divergence. Watch it bounce after that divergence. After everyone's liquidated, that's when it will bounce. You'll probably make a move all the way down, just eyeballing it here, probably right around there. 63 cents. You're at 93.19 cents now. I feel bad for anybody leveraging this right now. I could be wrong. It's a decent area to bounce. You do have bullish divergence presenting itself. It's not confirmed until we have a green day or two. The 4 hours should deter you from being excited about the daily, though. That 4 hour looks terrible. That's abysmal. It looks so sad. It looks so bad. And if anybody's out there trying to say, well, that's bullish divergence, low to low. I mean, low here. Okay, well, actually, technically, it's not a lower low. But I wouldn't consider it as a low. I wouldn't consider it as bullish divergence, personally. Like, this would be bullish divergence. But even that, I'm not. Technically, it's not, actually. If this was a lower low, this would be bullish divergence, is all I'm trying to say. Really, though, what you're in is a downtrend in your 4 hour RSI. You're in a just disgusting daily, showing strength but to the downside, and you haven't really even seen the strength of your move come in. I really do think you're going to see lower prices come in around 63 cents, 73.7 at your 1272, 63 cents right at your golden ratio. And so it was written, and so it shall be. Arrow, you're dropping, bro. You're dropping another 30 cents. Soon. Probably very soon. I would hope it was very soon. And don't get me wrong, guys. Anybody hearing me say that, it's not, I don't hope it's very soon because I hope somebody's losing money, or like I hope, you know, that's not why I hope it's very soon. I hope it's very soon because the longer that we do this, the more uncertainty there, the more room for error there is, right? If this is where you're at now, is right here, and your goal is to move all the way down here, and it takes you this long, wouldn't you rather just dump down in one day? You feel those emotions for like a day of uncertainty, and then boom, then you're back up, you know, and you recover like that. I don't know, that after being through it so many times, man, I would rather just see you dump first on Arrow, on any coin. I'd rather just see you dump and get it over with instead of these long, drawn out, boring, just kind of sideways movements, right? Like this here, right? Like all this, right? Like finally, you get your flash out. Finally, it's done. You don't have to worry about it anymore, right? You might worry about it a little bit here, but finally, right? We're here this whole time. You're like working your way. It's like, is it gonna drop? Is it? I don't know. And then boom, just I don't know. This might be a bad example, but this drop right here, this is a good example. Get it out of the way. It was just 1 week. That was it. Get it out of the way. You're probably not going lower than that, GTC. I don't think so. This one is also at the request of Astronaut Sailor. Yeah, I don't think you're going below that low. But for what it's worth, on the daily RSI, you do have hidden bearish divergence. High here, higher high, high here, lower high, which is not a good look. Rejecting the 50, which is not a good look. And you have a pretty intimidating daily candle coming about you right now, which is also not a good look. Man, I might eat my words on that, saying that you're not going to go lower. I just might. Oh, buddy, you might. Let's see. What do we got here, GTC? Yeah. One second, y'all. Okay. Right. Okay. Perhaps it goes a little lower. Perhaps it does. I don't think it'll go lower than this low. It could go a little lower than that low. I'm already kind of shocked that it's going to go below that low. Yeah, perhaps it does. Perhaps you go to about 93 cents. You're at $1.13 right now. I don't think you'll see 56 cents or 35 cents. You're set up for it. I'm not going to lie. You're set up for it, but I don't think you will. But I do believe you're going to go back down to this 886. Around 90 cents is where you're going, GTC. COQ for Mug Music. COQ. COQ Inu. Low to high. 2272 tipped, 100 hit, and down you go. Looking like you want to go lower. Yes, sir. Lower it is. You're doing that classic thing, man, where, right, there's hope. There's hope no matter where you draw it, right? Like at first the hope was that you'd hold this line, right? That was probably the hope. From low to here, you know, you'd hold that. It wicked below, but it came back up and closed, and then boom. Then it was tumultuous to the downside. And then there's like, maybe there's hope that we're holding this line. Whatever, however you want to draw it. We're just slowly bleeding out of it. I think not only are you not holding this line, but you're likely not going to hold this low either. And where you would go, and maybe I'm just looking at it wrong. Maybe I'm just cherry picking. I don't know. I think you're going to go to 50167, 50135. You're at 502339 right now, so a little bit lower. Yep, 50167 to 5015. I think that's where you're going, man. COQ going down. Hold on real quick. I don't like the daily RSI. I don't like the 4 hour. All right, that's that. Yeah, weekly looks bad too. It's too new, but weekly does look bad. That's that. Mug Music. We're talking about Wojak now as well on MEXC. Look at you. Maybe I'll do it on here instead. Yeah, I think that's fine. Very neutral daily RSI, very neutral price action. The weekly is neutral as well. The RSI is not going to be of help to us here. I don't know, man. Last time you moved like this, you moved up. So you're moving like this again. Will it merit the same prospects? I don't know. I'm doubtful. It's hard to say. It genuinely is hard to say. I think you're going to go lower. I think you could go just below these lows, like just below them, literally to 0.000333, or even all the way down to 3025, around there. Look at that 3 zeros 333 to 3 zeros 29 area. Look for that for support first. If not, 3 zeros 25 could be where you're going. Down is what I think. And then at that rate, you run the risk of even going lower. But I do think you're going lower from here. I don't feel confident that that's your low. Prove me wrong. Close above 3 zeros 478. Close above that on a daily, on a weekly, whatever. Close above it, not whatever, but daily or weekly specifically. 2 days or 1 week. Close above it. 3 zeros 478 1. Close above it. The 382. Until then, I'm convinced it's 3 zeros 333 or 3 zeros 25 in that area that you're going to. That's Wojak. PLI for Mr. Matt 5004. Well, look at you. Look at you. Everything else is doing bad, and you're like, I'm going to do good. I've been boring this whole time, but now that everything's in the dumpster, I'm going to be a little bit exciting, aren't you? From low that we saw not last week, but the week before, to the current high of this week, we're up 90%, you guys. Good job. Good job for all the PLI people. Looking at, this makes me curious as to what WTK is doing. Oh, man, I hope it drops, because if not, my reputation is soiled. Hasn't dropped yet, but it's in the area that I've been expecting it to drop, so there's still hope. There's still hope. PLI. Yeah, man, this is exciting. I like your weekly RSI. I like your daily RSI. I like your volume. I like what you're doing with the price. I like all of it. You look good. Finally showing some life where it matters. Now do what you haven't done since October and get out of here. Just move up. Close above this line. Close above 5.46 cents. Close above there on a weekly or a multiple daily basis. Get above there. Close above there. Do it. Do it. Do it. And if you do, if you close above 5.468 cents this week, next week, for 2 days in a row, however long it is, whatever it is, your next target area is 8 to 9 cents and then beyond even, right? I mean, 23 cents, 40 cents is on the mind. It's just not yet. Inevitably, but not yet, right? When is the question? And right now, you could be doing something that takes out that first step and then that second step, and then boom, you're on your third way there, right? If you can just do that, right? Looks simple. All you got to do is that, but you guys know it's not that simple. Though PLI doesn't seem to know that, because it has done a move just like that right here. That's all we need. We need a repeat of this exact move, and then boom, you're up there. Time will tell. Let's see how it goes. Close above 5.468 cents. Close above it. Not barely. Get a break. Let's break it. Break through it and convince me that you are going higher. As of right now, I'm going to stay on the bull train, assuming that you're going to move higher. Yes. Oh, yes. I think so. Today, you're going to move higher. Right? You're already up 24%. I think you're going to... Dude, you might be breaking it today. That would be great to see. That'd be really great to see. Who knows where this thing's going, but this is good. This is really good, guys. PLI might be the winner. Matt 5004. This one might be the winner for. I would have not expected that writing it down, but looking at it now, I'm definitely like, wow, that's pretty good for the immediate term price gains probably. Pepe Coin. I believe this is the one that you were asking for. Brian Padua. Yeah, we'll do this. On a weekly basis, from a low to a high, 382 area support, nice to see, and then up. From here, we go from low to high, and then not your 382, but that's okay. That is okay. High to low, 1272, beautiful. High to low, 1786 to the 1272 for support, beautiful. You could move lower, it's possible. but maybe not. I think you move lower. I think you do. If you don't hold this low, you're going down to $1.69 to $1.30. Maybe lower than that. But I think that really like that $1 to $1.69 area is what I would expect. Heavier emphasis on maybe like $1.30 around there or lower, actually. But you could hold $1.69. Countermeasures to going lower, you'd want to hold this 618 here at $2.75, or at least the 886 at $2.25. So if you can't bounce here, that's okay. Just make sure you do bounce here. If you don't get this kind of double bottom or a higher low look, well, lower you go to at least here. But I'm considering this part down here between about $1.06 to $1.30. That's my thoughts for Pepe coin. Yes, I wonder how is Pepe doing actually. Doing a little bonus one there with Pepe. Might be moving down, so I mean I guess that makes sense. That's okay. Yeah, I would have thought you would have continued, but you rejected your overbought zone. That's not encouraging. Yeah, 4 hours slipping a little bit. That's okay. Yeah, you probably over the week, 2 weeks you go down, which Pepe coin based off Pepe might actually go down as well. So that makes sense. All right, lower you go, buddy. $1.30 or lower is what I'm thinking. Minimum $1.69. You are at $3.79 now, so you got a ways to go. That was for you, Brian. And that's it, actually. That's the last one. Well, yeah. So if you guys liked the video, hit that like button, subscribe, and I'm going to go get some water now. I made it through the whole video, so take care. I got nothing else to say. I say that. I don't know. Do I have anything else to say? Take everything that you hear on YouTube with a grain of salt. Make the best decisions for yourself. Do it for you, right? Don't do it for me. Don't do it for some other random person you hear on YouTube. Don't do it for someone that you're trying to impress or stick it to or anything. Do it for yourself. Make decisions for yourself in a non-emotional environment. When you're putting money on the line, whenever you are buying things with a large amount of money, I don't know what that is to you. Maybe it's $100,000. Maybe it's $1 million. Maybe it's more than that. Maybe it's less than $100. Like whatever a lot of money is to you. If you're going to do that, make sure you are. If you're going to put money in, you're going to invest. You're going to do that. You're going to put a lot of money in. Whatever that is to you. Make sure you are not being risky, okay? That you are looking into things yourself, and that whenever you're making these, I got distracted, man. This is what I was trying to say. Make sure that you're coming from a place of non-emotional being, right? When you put a lot of money in, and I don't know what a lot of money is to you, this is where I got sidetracked. You are going to be emotional. Your heart's going to race a little bit. You're going to be excited because you're making moves that are changing your future. You might believe it in your head, you might believe it in your heart, but you don't like truthfully know it, right? Because nobody knows the future. But the way that I see things, man, is our souls, and this is where I go off a little bit on like a hippie tangent here, but our souls are smarter than ourselves, if that makes sense. Our souls embody ourselves, but our souls are smarter. So your soul might have a grasp on what your future holds, right? Maybe the part of you that's tied to the energy that flows through the universe, it has a grasp on what your future holds. I have a point, I promise, okay? I know it's hippie stuff, but when you're making these moves that can change your life financially, and you're doing it right, even when you're doing it right, you're going to have emotions flying through. It's going to be exciting. A lot of money to you, whether it's $100 or $1 million, and you press that buy button. Hopefully, you're not buying $1 million of anything all at once, and you're spacing it out. But I digress. When you hit that buy button, there's going to be a little uptick in your heart rate, and that's okay. It's okay to make moves with that kind of emotion. It's okay to be excited or not sure completely, but like you're as sure as you can be. You're making a calculated decision and you still feel a little bit giddy. That's okay. If you don't feel any emotion, okay, that's cool too. Like that's probably better. But when I say don't make emotional moves, that doesn't mean you can't have emotion when you do it. And none of this is financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just saying don't let that deter you. Don't let as soon as you're about to hit the buy button, you're like, I don't know, my heart's racing a little bit too much. I might wait till I calm down and then come back to it later. Don't do what you want, but sometimes your heart is racing because it's like you're about to pull the trigger on something that maybe your higher self already knows is meant to be, that is meant to come. And if you don't believe in that, like whatever you do believe in, something or someone out there might be pushing that energy towards you, and that's why you're feeling excited, if that makes any sense. I don't know, man. I'm going off on a tangent here. Don't let your emotions control you. Recognize them. Make smart decisions. And whenever it comes time to enact on those decisions and execute on them, you will likely still be feeling emotions, even if you're calculated. But don't let those emotions deter you from your calculated move. Even if you're making the move and it is emotional while you're doing it, don't let the emotions deter you. All right, do what you're doing. And if it's the wrong decision anyways, and the emotions happen to be right, if it's the wrong decision, have a game plan for being wrong too. Don't just assume blindly that you're going to be right with anything. But this is the time to get excited, man. To literally put things in motion that can change the outlook of your life over the coming decade. That's this time right now. We're in that time right now. It's happening. And anybody can make money in a bull market, but only the pros take profits, right? Anybody can make profits, only the pros take profits. So when it comes time to sell, you might be feeling those emotions run high again, but just remember, right? Be calculated. It's okay to feel those emotions. It's okay to have them. But when it's time to sell, that's the whole reason you got in the first place. Nobody is buying cryptos right now with the intent of holding them forever, right? I mean, maybe Michael Saylor, but these altcoins, any of the coins that we're going over, I'm sure nobody's buying these coins with the intent to hold them forever, right? Maybe for the cycle, but remember that it's for the cycle, right? Buy now, be calculated. Those emotions will flow through you all throughout the cycle, but whenever it comes time to sell, get out. Get out. Don't fall in love with what you're buying. Don't fall in love with what you're investing. It can be good to you, but when it's time to cut and run, you got to cut and run, man. I don't know. I'm talking way too much here. This has gone on longer than I meant for it to. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more. I hope that last part made sense, and if not, whatever. It's all good, man. And I will see you guys on the next one. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.